what the status of boilerplate response. Of course, they're going to respond and seek maximum retribution or whatever. But we are talking has been terribly damaged and really needs to recover from the injury it's received from the breach of its exclusive arrangement with Star Citizen. So, Svining Torrestal, thank you very much for the Norwegian kroner. Side handwritten note to the judge. Why it's handwritten, I really have no idea. Alex uses a computer, but whatever. The handwritten note said that that Alex had thought that the judge would invalidate the settlement because Alex owns copyrights to things with Turner Broadcasting. And that's it. That's all it said. It didn't say what things, and it didn't say how her owning that copyright registration, how that changes anything. A copyright registration does not actually mean you own anything. It means you paid $25 and filed the paperwork with the Copyright Office and waited 6 months. That's it. That's really all that means. So, anyway, so that is the show. I want to thank you for joining me. I would also like to thank my December supporters. Currently, we are... Well, you can actually bring them up here. That would probably help. Currently, I am working on the final edit of the Milwaukee versus Snap-on Tools video, which was from November. You may remember the AVE, the Arduino Evil gentleman who likes to make those shop videos. He sponsored the channel for $500 and asked us to make that video. In December, our $500 sponsor is DJ Gilcrease, and I'm looking forward to hearing from him as to what video he'd like to see me make. Our $50 plus supporters are John Steele, Lydia Collinson, Weston Loney, Gavin Bernard, The Godslain, and Sean McNamara. My $5 plus supporters are scrolling on my LED panel behind me and are in the description below. Oh, great, and the net neutrality vote just went live, so I think I'm going to stop the stream here and we'll go watch that, because that would be great. Cases like this can go on for years, so who knows, this will be either short or long. I hope, I don't know. How long does SIG have to respond? SIG will have to respond after they get served within 21 days. It's probably going to be a few weeks or months before they respond. So, thank you very much. And what is the, you want a link to the FCC? Yeah, sure. Live net neutrality vote. Where, yeah, somebody... Here's how to watch, okay. FCC General Live, here it is. Alright, everybody, have a great one. Yeah, rip net neutrality probably, but we'll see. Alright, I love you all. Thanks for joining me. Have a great week. Have a great holiday. I will see you in other videos, but I'm sure I won't see you also. Have a great holiday, everyone. I'll see you guys. Love you. Bye. Oh, yeah, and I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. Thank you.
non-disclosure and non-compete agreement with Crytek. In that area, Crytek alleges that Cloud Imperium has broken their agreement yet again in 2 different avenues. One being the YouTube video series Bug Smashers that apparently contains within them confidential CryEngine information that was deemed to be confidential in nature. The other was the partnership between Cloud Imperium and Faceware Technologies. In this regard, it's alleged that Cloud Imperium provided access to CryEngine source code as follows. Crytek is the copyright holder of the copyrighted CryEngine computer program. The CryEngine computer program constitutes copyright expression protected by 17 U.S.C. subsection 101. A true and correct copy of Crytek's application for copyright registration is attached as Exhibit 1. Defendants have reproduced, displayed, and distributed unauthorized copies of the CryEngine computer program to which they had access. Such unauthorized copies exceed the permissible license terms and therefore constitute unlawful reproduction, display, and distribution of CryEngine computer program. Defendants' acts violate the exclusive rights of Crytek as the copyright holder to reproduce, display, and distribute CryEngine computer program and to create derivative works from it as set forth in 17 U.S.C. subsection 106. Crytek is informed and believes and thereon alleges that the infringement of Crytek's copyright was willful, reckless, and or in blatant disregard for Crytek's rights as a copyright holder, and as such claims willful, exemplary, and enhanced statutory damages and or a preclusion from claiming certain deductions or other benefits during the calculation of damages. Defendants' infringements of Crytek's copyrights are the direct and proximate cause of damages to Crytek, and Crytek is entitled to compensatory damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Crytek is further entitled to recover from defendants all of the gains, profits, and advantages they have obtained as a result of the infringement, and for disgorgement of any typical gains, profits, and advantages defendants obtained that are attributed to their infringement of the CryEngine computer program in an amount to be proven at trial, together with attorneys' fees and costs pursuant to 17 U.S.C. subsections 504 and 505. And then, of course, we have the prayer for relief, which includes monetary compensation that reads, Plaintiff respectfully requests that this court enters the following legal and equitable relief in favor of plaintiff and against defendant as a result of its infringing conduct and other inequitable practices. Part A, awarding plaintiff all direct damages estimated to be in excess of $75,000, indirect damages, consequential damages including lost profits, special damages, costs, fees, and expenses incurred by reason of defendant's breach of contract and copyright infringement. Part B, entering a permanent injunction enjoining and restraining defendants from continuing to possess or use the copyrighted work, and a preliminary and permanent injunction requiring defendants and all those acting in concert or participation with defendants from infringing or encouraging, aiding, or abetting others to infringe the copyrighted work. Part C, awarding actual damages and disgorgement of defendants' profits in an amount to be determined at trial, together with interest, attorneys' fees, and costs of suit as provided by law and as set forth in the contracts at issue. Part D, awarding punitive damages in an amount to be determined at trial. Part E, awarding all remedies provided for under 17 U.S.C. subsection 504. And Part F, granting such other and further relief as the equities of the case may require and as this court may deem just and proper under the circumstances. And this seems to be a fairly straightforward matter. If we assume that a game license agreement was signed that did clearly stipulate all of what was previously listed, then it would seem to be fairly damning against Chris Roberts and Cloud Imperium. And if so, this could cause further significant delays and expenditures for Cloud Imperium in a game that has already missed every single deadline and milestone goal put forth by the developers over the course of the past 5 years. Despite the fanatical following Star Citizen has generated, as well as its fanatical detractors, there have been any number of odd behaviors exhibited by Cloud Imperium over the past several years that have only been exacerbated in recent months. With accusations of monetary mismanagement, shell companies, professional misconduct, and a host of others, Cloud Imperium has fought an uphill battle that would become that much harder if this lawsuit were to favor Crytek. While they may have transitioned to Lumberyard, we won't know fully what sort of damage any form of lawsuit or injunction will have on the game's development. Although, if you'll permit me a moment of purely subjective snark, it's doubtful anyone would even notice if this caused significant delays given how much both games have been delayed already. And in response to this, Cloud Imperium has released the same statement to multiple outlets regarding the lawsuit in question, where they state, We are aware of the Crytek complaint having been filed in the U.S. District Court. CIG hasn't used the CryEngine for quite some time since we switched to Amazon's Lumberyard. This is a meritless lawsuit that we will defend vigorously against, including recovering from Crytek any costs incurred in this matter, which is pretty much the statement that we would expect from any company when presented with a lawsuit such as this. However, I'm sure a great many eyes will be on this lawsuit as it moves forward, as Star Citizen is the largest crowdfunded video game to date, and it will retain a large amount of attention no matter what. But as always, please do let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments below. Special thanks to the 20 Up Club for their continued support. Their names are in the description of this video. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Sid Alpha, and I'll see you next time.
for code the no with a 6. Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Gus Roll.
Most of the time, video game developers reserve press releases for bragging about how many copies of Space Shooter 2017 you just shipped, but today, Crytek, the creators of Crysis, had to send out a different kind of press release.
We were just talking about this the other day.
Yeah, this is the follow-up.
The company announced that as of today, they're refocusing their strategy and sadly shutting down 5 of their studios, leaving only their headquarters in Frankfurt and an additional studio in Kiev intact.
Like 5 days before Christmas, guys? Come on. This is unfortunate. Not that much of a surprise given the story we did last week with the recent reports they have trouble paying their employees for, well, the better part of 2016. I mean, once you're able to do that, you either choose to shut down and put people out of work, or you make the really dick move of trying to get people to work without compensation.
In Crytek's case, why not both? The studios affected by today's announcement are Crytek satellite branches in Hungary, Bulgaria, South Korea, China, and Turkey. Considering they have around 700 employees on their payroll across all locations, that's a whole lot of people who will be displaced just ahead of the holidays.
So this is the ultimate Scrooge move, guys. You could have just waited a little bit longer. It might
They
surprise
were
you.
paid them anyway,
Yeah, I guess that's true, but like they had the hope and now that's been taken away. It might surprise you to learn the company operated so many offices and had so many workers on staff, considering they had barely any games to show for it, which is part of the problem, I guess. However, it's one that Crytek is trying at least to fix, short of a complete shutdown, thanks to a refocus on its core strengths of developing innovative games and game development technology.
Crytek also said via press release that the remaining studios will continue to develop and work on premium IPs, remain a core pillar of Crytek's overall strategy, with enterprise licensees and indie developers alike continuing to be served by regular engine updates. All other development studios will not remain within Crytek, and management have put plans into action to secure jobs and ensure a smooth transition and stable future.
So on the positive side, it does sound like they're at least going to try to assist the now former employees with new roles around the industry, which is pretty good. It's like that's hopeful, at least, and they'll probably get paid sooner. Hopefully, also that's more than just PR lip service, and that those plans include, paying them the money they owe each.
I would hope so. Last week we reported on Crytek's failure to pay its employees for the last several months. That news broke via Reddit, where an anonymous employee claimed that he and some of his coworkers had been experiencing payment interruptions since May of this year, with some employees working without pay for that entire duration.
That's so long, you guys. Similar reports landed at the same time across the web, telling the tale of a company in a little bit of a financial hellhole. According to the reports, Crytek is totally out of money. Company co-founder and president Shiva Yerli hasn't been to work in months. Multiple studios haven't been paid, and employees are leaving the company in droves.
And all these events were a bit too familiar for the developers' employees because the same exact thing happened to Crytek back in 2014, following the poor reception of the Xbox One exclusive Rise. That financial trouble also resulted in the closure of another Crytek studio, Crytek USA, here in Austin.
Now, since we reported on the initial story, there have been a few new developments aside from the fact that all the studios were shut. Last week, an employee started a GoFundMe to help sue Crytek to get his wages back, and that campaign ended up being ultimately shut down by GoFundMe.
Kotaku also reported last week that Crytek did manage to pay its Frankfurt employees for October and promised that November wages would be coming this week in time for Christmas, but of course, that didn't count for all the employees around the world.
Nope. So, what exactly is Crytek going to do next? I mean, they mentioned a renewed focus on premium IPs. Seems like an interesting shift, possibly signals a return to some of their former franchises. Their biggest property was always Crysis, and that hasn't been updated since 2013's Crysis 3. Although, really, it was like Crysis was the strong one out of the gate. Everyone was super impressed, and then it was diminishing returns after that.
Another possible franchise would be Rise.
I'm sorry.
While it was received poorly by critics, it did have gameplay elements and games to look back fondly on, along with some impressive visuals thanks to CryEngine.
And the QTE events.
Yeah, maybe it could be well served by a sequel. No clue on that. It's also the beloved FPS Time Splitters, which Crytek acquired when they purchased Free Radical back in 2009.
Now, Time Splitters is actually one that I'd like to see more of.
That was fun.
Yeah, but beyond that, the company hasn't really done a whole lot besides the free-to-play games that they worked on with Chinese money machine Tencent, which again was probably part of the problem.
It just shows that there's currently a hole out there in the industry to cash in on free-to-play, with tons of developers trying to find a sweet spot in the games as a service model, but it's not like there's free money out there just lying around for the developers to scoop up. This is the exact reason Nintendo stocks are taking a hit for Super Mario Run, but investors feel like Nintendo should have been more aggressive with microtransactions.
Yeah, following the initial success of Crysis and the early popularity of its engine, Crytek expanded really rapidly, which is how they ended up with so many extra studios. From 2008 to 2012, they opened all the studios that are affected by today's announcement, increasing their workforce like crazy while struggling to find another hit.
Out of the studios closed today, none of them were working on anything that's significant, which makes it pretty shocking that they waited this long to make the decision to close them down.
Now going forward, it looks like Crytek will be going back to the well that made them famous, a focus on technology. Another pillar of their business in the past was licensing out the CryEngine, but that's also taken a bit of a hit as more viable options like Unreal Engine 4 have gone free for developers. At this point, that might not be something they can really recover from either, although both Amazon and Star Citizen have made use of their technology in recent years. Even Star Citizen modified it so heavily they changed the name.
Unfortunately, this isn't the only news of layoffs in the industry recently either. Obsidian just laid off some employees who were working on Armored Warfare, another free-to-play game, earlier this month, as development on that title got shifted to another location.
Fairly typical, sadly, to see these kind of things hit later in the year as companies do what they can to make changes before the start of the following year, but hopefully the developers formerly at Crytek can land on their feet. Best wishes to everyone affected, and I really do hope that Crytek follows through on their attempts to get people hired. I remember when Irrational decided to go from a AAA studio to kind of more of an indie studio, there were almost these huge job fairs happening to get those people employed, although they're also AAA developers and I'm sure very much in demand.
So what do you guys think of Crytek shutting down most of its studios after all their financial problems? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates from all around the also take a bit of a hit as more viable options like Unreal Engine 4 have gone free for developers. At this point, that might not be something they can really recover from either, although both Amazon and Star Citizen have made use of their technology in recent years. Even Star Citizen modified it so heavily they changed the name.
Unfortunately, this isn't the only news of layoffs in the industry recently either. Obsidian just laid off some employees who were working on Armored Warfare, another free-to-play game, earlier this month, as development on that title got shifted to another location.
Fairly typical, sadly, to see these kind of things hit later in the year as companies do what they can to make changes before the start of the following year, but hopefully the developers formerly at Crytek can land on their feet. Best wishes to everyone affected, and I really do hope that Crytek follows through on their attempts to get people hired. I remember when Irrational decided to go from a AAA studio to kind of more of an indie studio, there were almost these huge job fairs happening to get those people employed, although they're also AAA developers and I'm sure very much in demand.
So what do you guys think of Crytek shutting down most of its studios after all their financial problems? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates from all around the video games industry, like this video and subscribe to the Know. Thanks to Sherry Fairies for sponsoring this update.
The holidays are coming up faster than you think, so don't put off that gift shopping.
You've only got like this much time to get them before Christmas actually comes. If you think your loved ones would like some freshly get strawberries, and we do, because
to make sure everything was correct. Linus isn't here, and we weren't perfectly on time, which disappoints me. Because usually we've done a really good job. It's partially my fault. I will take blame for
No,
that.
it's actually Linus' fault, because when it's you and I, we're on time.
Yeah.
But Linus is in the building, and he may take over,
Yeah.
and it's because we waited for him that this is late.
Yes, that is fair. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, beyond all of that kind of stuff, gonna be a great show. We have some fantastic topics, some that'll make you sad, some that'll make you happy. You might cry, or not.
I actually had a little emotional moment when I was writing the show notes.
Yeah, it gets pretty deep. Anyways, we're gonna talk about Galaxy S9 possibly coming in February. We're gonna be talking about Intel possibly doing steep cuts to the Intel Inside program, and
What kind of show would it be if we didn't at least address the net neutrality buzz this
Yeah.
week, as well as Disney's giant $54 million acquisition of parts of Fox, 20th Century Fox.
just buy the world.
Just buy it all.
Anything that makes media, buy it. Then you own all the media.
The Walmart of Hollywood. Hey, I didn't write it. I saw someone else write it. But I like it.
Yeah, pretty good. Let me pre-save this. There we go. Boss. Yes. Tesoro.
Tesoro.
And Flashbooks.
Flashbooks.
Yeah. It's slightly harder to move the little sources around on OBS than it is. Not much, but slightly.
That's like a Coke and Pepsi thing, hey?
Yeah. Most of the comparisons between the two are like pretty major. That one's a little Coke and Pepsi. I will agree. First topic we're going to talk about is Title II being dunzos. So you have some specific comments on here.
Yeah, but you should go first.
So okay,
you probably know a lot more about this than I do.
Okay, so I actually don't know about like Title II specific stuff, and I don't know a lot about the exact implications. I have a lot of ideas of how companies and how people are going to react to things and how it's going to affect things, but I don't know the word of the law.
And I think this is actually, I think you echo the sentiment that a lot of people have. Before we get into, like, maybe we just explain what happened.
So yeah, in a 3-2 vote, the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, declassified internet providers as a Title II common carrier situation. Now, in my opinion, it seems like the entire world thinks that tomorrow you're gonna have to like pay to use Facebook. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it would be interesting if they went super hard and just wrecked people immediately, because that would probably get it rethrown over super fast. But that's not what's going to happen. It's going to happen slowly. Before anything directly affects users, I think the first things that are going to happen is a lot of like kind of inside industry deal kind of stuff, making Netflix pay them so that they can actually distribute their content properly, blocking content of certain people on different ISPs or on different devices or whatever, so they can push their own products that are similar.
Yeah.
A lot of that kind of stuff is what I suspect is going to happen.
That did happen in the past at one point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They got reprimanded.
Yes, but okay, this is totally wrong. As far as I know, this was in place to try to stop, to make it easier for the reprimanding to happen, and this being potentially sort of gone now. The Title II thing's gone now, not the entirety of it, I know that. Makes it easier for them to do those things and not get reprimanded, as far as I understand.
So, everybody likes net neutrality. There's like, I don't think there are many, well, maybe,
actually know some people,
maybe these businesses, but like, I think we can all agree that nobody wants to have a situation like the one you're describing. My problem is how this whole issue is being framed. Like, all the articles today, like The Verge in particular, it's like, the FCC votes to kill net neutrality. Net neutrality's done, like, the world's over. And there's no distinction being made that, like, actually net neutrality isn't over. It's just Title II that's over. I don't think this debate really, and the FCC guy who always gets quoted, like the evil guy, like, I don't really think he's evil. I think he's just, like, answering a different question. The question has been framed by the media as, do we want net neutrality? Whereas the question that's actually happening with, or being answered with this vote is, how do we want net neutrality to be enforced? And they decided that Title II isn't the way to do it. And it comes down to the two different ways that you can regulate. So the one approach is called ex ante, which is regulating something kind of proactively so mistakes don't happen. And that's a really great way to do it when the stakes are super, super, super high. Where if it's like, if this nuclear bomb gets dropped, the world's over, so that cannot happen.
I think it also, I'm gonna let you finish. One thing I'm gonna drop in is I think the stakes being super high is a little bit of a perspective thing. There's a lot of people that are running companies like we are, both through Linus Media Group and Floatplane Media, that could be severely hurt here. People could lose jobs, people could lose livelihoods, people could lose entire companies. That could, in some people's opinion, end their life. So there's some scale going on there. But yeah, I will let you continue.
I agree with that. But I think that those things can be thwarted by the other type of regulation, which is ex post, which is when you're more reactionary with the regulation, which is what we had before, prior to 2015, prior to the Title II, which is where ISPs would try to do stuff like promoting their own products first, and then they would get reprimanded for it, and then after that happened, no other ISPs would make that mistake again. So yeah, there's like people's livelihoods online, but then regulators step in and slap their wrists or sue them or whatever, and then it seems to be enough. And the reason that you even have to make a choice between one or the other, seeing as the Title II version seems way more safe, is because in theory it costs a lot more, and that would in theory kind of put a damper on innovation, and we want innovation, because we want there to be better broadband tomorrow than today.
But then there's also the situation where, like, now I'm jumping into something that's not in the notes and I don't have the exact name for it, but people talk a lot about how the American populace paid through tax dollars huge ludicrous amounts of money to get fiber laid out, and then nothing was ever done with it. I've done some research on that. That's not exactly how it worked. It was actually way worse. What happened was the telecommunications companies of whatever sort were able to put a fee, like government is okay with this fee on everything, and that fee was supposed to directly and solely contribute to the rollout of fiber across all of the place. And it's easier to do it in cities, but the city people would have to keep paying the fee so that the more difficult places would be able to be developed. That was part of the idea. That has not been acted on at all. And that fee is, and that fee is still going on. And as far as anyone can tell, there's no intention of that ever becoming a thing anyways. So I don't think there's, when you talk about the inspiration to innovate, in somewhere like up here, usually you have like 2 options, or maybe 3, maybe probably not 4, depending on where you live. There are technically some places in Vancouver where you can get like a lot of different ISP options, but it's really uncommon. Out here, usually you get 2, tell us your shop. In a huge percentage of the states, there is no option. You have 1 ISP. There's no incentive to innovate, not because they can't charge more. They're charging a lot, for 1. Internet is extremely expensive in America. And for 2, they have this freaking, it's not a tax, but a fee thing that's put on all of their charges that is supposed to directly be like the American government being like, here, innovate. And they're just not doing it because they're like, here, money, pocket, no do anything. Sounds good. So I understand the, like, you need to be able to charge more so you have money in the bank so that you can innovate. From a company perspective, like for Floatplane Media, for example, the fee that we take, like if we ignore the amount of money that goes to the creator, which is not a thing, they're getting money for doing work, that's how that works. But our fee, some of it is to cover our current overhead in terms of staff and in terms of like building and chairs and tables and computers and whatnot. And part of it is so that we can have a little bit of extra money that we can put in the bank, and we can sit on that little bit of extra money. If we need to buy a piece of software to enhance our service or add more troubleshooting, or if we need to hire another person, we can go like, okay, this is fine. We have this money here, we can innovate in this way, we can spend the money making the thing, do the thing. That is important, but they've already had an extremely great example of that, which is that consistent fee for every single person in America that subscribes to a internet service, as far as I know. And they're not in America still has like actually pretty bad internet. You go to like anywhere in Europe, or pretty much any Asian country that I've been to, and you go to like hotel lobby Wi-Fi, and it's like, holy crap! If I could have this as like the dedicated line into my house, I'd be so happy.
Isn't that like just a factor of the size though? Like I think that in some of the urban centers in the States, it's as good. Well, not maybe like Japan level, but it's,
There's
it's
definitely
world class.
places-
But yeah,
yeah,
it's just not consistent across the nation.
You can get gigabit in some places for sure, and you can get gigabit in Vancouver even as well. And it's not just Google Fiber; that is definitely true. But there is also a lot of places where you can't, where you absolutely should be able to, and most of those places is where there's no competition. Usually, where you actually see something like fiber is because the telecommunications companies haven't been able to sue a small company into the ground and forcing them to not be able to compete, which is a thing that has happened a lot in the U.S. And there's definitely like if you look at somewhere like Taiwan, most of the country super easy to get internet. It's a fairly small island essentially, and you can network the whole thing. It's a lot easier to do than like Canada. But Canada's problems are almost more understandable than America's because we are so spread out. But then at the same time, if you look at Canada's population across the map, it's like empty. This is the border to America. Empty. Everyone is like right here. So we're all kind of in a thin line. And like population centers, it's weird whenever I hear people talking about the U.S. when they talk about more than one significant city in a state, because it's like almost not a thing up here. We have like a couple provinces that have more than one city that are like major. But if you think about outside people,
Everyone's got two.
what other city in BC?
Victoria. It's like, okay, the definition of major
Yeah.
is different.
No,
but
that
it's still
happens in
major,
Victoria. There's a
still-
school and there's
There's
retirees.
Calgary and there's Edmonton.
Yeah.
There's Montreal and Quebec City.
Yeah.
There's in Ontario there's a buttload.
Yes,
Like
Ontario's
Mississauga, all these
definitely,
things are all-
but it's like barely.
St. John's and Quarterbrook. Get out of here. Never even heard of it. That was Alex walking by with his Maritimer Nova Scotia knowledge there.
But it's just like if you're trying to run networking across Canada, you kind of have like
A corridor to like
like
blast
there's a
it.
whole bunch of people, not very much. There's a whole bunch of people, not very much. There's a lot of that going on. There is obviously some that's not true situations where cities like much higher up,
Like
Calgary
Calgary and
space, yeah, and whatnot. But it's like it's not impossible. And luckily up here, the fact that there's almost always, definitely not true for all situations, but almost always two ISPs fighting. We've seen quite a bit of innovation. Shaw recently tried to screw around and say that they were sending fiber to people's homes when they were actually sending fiber to the node and then copper to the home. So Telus was like, no, we run actual fiber to the home, and then they took like a whole bunch of market share because of that. There was a little fight going on between them. We need them to be fighting.
Exactly.
I don't know. But like you were saying, this is not necessarily the end of net neutrality. It's Title II status.
Yeah, I basically said my piece. I really don't know that much. I don't want to look like a fool. I have heard that the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is the entity that ought to be regulating this type of thing, not the FCC. But
Okay.
I think it's just a big question mark. They're just like, will they do it?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. America has so many different government agency things. I don't know.
And we're just Canadian idiots.
Yeah,
We need John
yeah.
down here to
Yeah, exactly.
American and schooled in law.
Yeah. I don't know. It's an extremely complicated situation. We're probably not the best ones to talk about it. My thing is I have an odd amount of information about like the things around it, like that weird fee thing and all those kind of stuff, but I don't know the word of the law. I don't know what actually like happens now. But it's not Title II because I barely understand Title II.
I'm gonna take the position that everything's gonna be okay. We hope.
Yeah. Yeah. We go.
Give me alright.
It could be really bad for us up here. So we're just hoping that everything sort of survives down there. It's always interesting being Canadian because so much of what happens in America is extremely important to us. So like I know of quite a few Canadians that pay attention to American politics more than Canadian politics. Not only because it's far more crazy. Our major controversy, if you want to see like hilarious Canadian politics, our major controversy of this year I think was Eldo Gate. Was that this year?
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Oh, wait a second. Yeah, yeah.
When he
yeah,
like bumped into the
Well, what about, like, there's local issues. There's a big dam that they just made. It's such a big deal.
yeah.
$12 billion. But we don't have someone tweeting to another like nuclear armed
I don't
power.
call him short and fat. Yeah, we don't have any of that kind of stuff. So it's not only
Bring it on, you little butterball. It's gonna be huge.
not only is it more animated down there, I'd say, but everything that happens in the state extremely strongly affects Canada.
And
we often follow
and
suit.
basically picturing Trump with like Triple H's hair and like tassels from his elbows coming onto this
He's been on WWE.
Yeah, he's walking onto the canvas mat with a microphone like, I've been sitting backstage listening to you. Run your mouth.
Oh god.
Cracking some beers together, I guess.
Speaking of crazy cinematic experiences like that, Disney acquired 20th Century Fox for $52.4 billion.
Billion. I'm stoked on this.
Really?
Kinda.
Because a lot of people are. You're gonna be the contrarian in this stream. That is fun. That is good.
Like antitrust concerns? Are they a concern here?
I'm not entirely sure what defines that, so maybe. But I think it's just like they're Disney trying to eat everything up. And it's kind of scaring people a little bit.
Well, it depends on the scale you think about. Because on the other hand, Netflix is eating everything up. And they have been just steadily raising their prices, and like they're taking over. The only thing that TV is good for now is sports. So when Netflix is all that matters, because who cares about Prime Video or Hulu?
Hey man, they got Lord of the Rings series coming on Prime Video.
They're doing.
And they have the Grand Tour.
They're
They're
doing their thing.
trying.
But we need competition, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I think we also
Yeah,
need TV to die. So I kind of like what Disney's doing here. To make it clear for everybody, they're not just straight up buying 21st Century Fox. They're buying the majority of their properties. So what's not included
Including
is Fox
Star
News.
Wars.
They're not buying Fox News. They're not buying the Fox Broadcast Network. They're not buying FS1 Sports Cable Channel. But they are getting a bunch of stuff, including.
The Simpsons, Homeland, This Is Us, Modern Family.
That's all the Fox Television Studio stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They're getting television studio stuff, which includes 36 different series, which includes those 4 things I just said.
They're also getting the regional sports networks, which is a big deal.
Oh.
Yeah, so Disney has already announced plans to introduce 2 streaming services by the end of 2019. They already own ESPN, so they're going to have ESPN Plus, which is coming in the spring, but ESPN Plus is now also going to have these regional basketball games and stuff like that. So,
wow.
Yeah, so
That's actually huge, because
Yeah.
like you said earlier, TV is, of course there's other things on it, but TV is very heavily for sports.
the only reason the other things are on TV is because they're bundled with sports.
Often, yeah, yeah. So like that's crazy. And regional is quite important. That's really cool. Okay,
Yeah, and then,
all right.
so then
That's a cool
the
thing.
second streaming service they want to offer is built around their other properties like Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and Pixar. They haven't named that streaming service yet, but it's going to roll out late
So
next
that's why
year.
they're pulling the Star Wars series up.
Yeah, it's going to go on their own. And on top of that,
Jeez.
Disney already owned 30% of Hulu. Wait,
Hulu?
I always mess this up because of Silicon Valley. Yeah, they own Gavin Belson's company, Hulu. They owned 30% of it, but now they're getting more through this acquisition, so they actually will have a majority stake in that. The other people who own Hulu are Comcast and Time Warner, I think, among others. And that streaming service is more for adult audiences, or
Yeah.
grown-ups, foreign stuff, ABC shows.
Yeah.
So they're interesting. Yeah, they're going to have a lot of streaming services. There's a quote here from Bob Iger who said it's like their highest priority. Going direct to consumer is their highest priority. which you think about it is a crazy cultural shift, an organizational shift for Disney, who traditionally they've had this content and they need to pimp it out to as many distributors as possible. So that's very horizontally integrated. Now they're flipping that. So we have this content and we're going vertically, being the distributor and giving it to the consumer. That's an ambitious and like a legacy-defining thing for us.
Well, they're trying to stay on top of it. One of the scariest things for a company like this is becoming that old company that just becomes behind the times. Yeah. So they're trying to stay on top of it. I run full planes. This is a little bit of a contradictory thing to say, but while it might not feel great to everyone to have another streaming service that they have to pay for to get the content that they want, it's going to be interesting. And like maybe it will mean more stuff. I have no idea. Hopefully that's true.
It's going to be sweet though, because the thing with Netflix, it's like there's a bajillion things on Netflix, and then you go to watch Netflix, and you're like, there's nothing on Netflix. There's a bunch of like low-budget documentaries, B-list movies.
Hey man, I like low-budget documentaries.
Sometimes, like it's obviously getting better, but like for the longest time, especially in Canada, it's been direct. Now there's going to be a new service where you can just watch all the Simpsons, all the Family Guys.
Right,
like, they have so many awesome properties under their umbrella. It's going to be wicked.
The Fox Television studio part will be pretty good. It's going to be interesting because the Lucasfilm stuff, them buying 20% Fox means they have the old properties for Lucasfilm, being like the original series and stuff like that. Interesting.
And you'll just, anyone with kids is going to buy that. Like, plop it down and your kid can just watch every Disney movie ever. Like, kids only need 2 Disney movies on repeat, as it is.
We've reinforced that with YouTube too. They'll just sit and replay the same thing forever.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
You want to do this one? I feel like this is a loop topic.
Yeah, let's go for it.
PUBG creator says games need better protection from copycat titles. So, for people who don't know, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is a game kind of a new-ish genre that is pioneering called the Battle Royale type of genre.
I think technically they're not pioneering it. I don't remember.
Okay, there's always someone who's first. It's like Apple didn't invent the computer.
Yeah,
but like
they definitely were the ones that like exploded it and massively popularized it, etc. But I believe, again, I'm not super well versed on this, but I believe there was a game that this guy even contributed to slightly. This could be wrong. Sorry. Mods for Arma. And H1Z1. Okay, yeah, which were both like, it was an Arma mod that was basically this, just you don't fly it on a plane, I think. And H1Z1, which is like basically this, but I think you also don't fly it on a plane. So maybe they're upside down planes. I don't know.
We should actually, someone tweeted me or you commented last time that we didn't read out the names of the forum posters.
Oh, jeez.
And I felt pretty bad about that. So there's a great thread about this on the forum. I even wrote
posted by,
I didn't write the person's
name. That was the greatest segue ever. You want to grab that real quick? The Disney post was posted by D. Cress Jr. The Title 2 is done so post was by EvilCat70, and I think that's it.
This one's posted by Porina, whose name I actually always loved reading, and I like the accompanying picture. It's just a peaceful name. He's got a little clown picture side. I just like that guy.
I think it's Porino.
What? Oh, well, it's a Pokemon bias. It just sounds more Pokemon if I put it down.
That's fair.
My other favorite person's name on the forum is Max Settings.
Yeah.
Awesome. Max Settings. Anyway, in the forum post, Perino brings up the fact that perhaps before these games, there was at least movies with this type of Battle Royale, like the movie Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Which is almost exactly this, like you're on an island.
Yeah. The concept itself, it's an interesting thing because they definitely have a point with, there's some specific games. I know right here they call it, in China there are several titles that have the same premise, gameplay, and even graphics. Some are barely distinguishable from PUBG itself. Others have special license like a Terminator 2 themed version.
So to back up, the game is so popular that there's a bunch of spin-off kind of copycat titles that are not affiliated at all, but kind of just like knockoffs.
Yeah, so in some ways I kind of agree, where like if it is basically exactly the same, then sure. But they say right in here, I want other developers to put their own spin on the genre, not just lift things from our own game. Different things are going to get lifted from every game. If you look into the history of gaming, FPS games used to be called June Pulse.
Oh yeah, because they all have the same engine.
Yeah, and they kind of felt pretty similar, but they were technically different games, and there was slightly different things about it. Like I don't personally find it offensive that Fortnite. It's a little weird that you like flying on a bus in the exact same way that you fly on a plane on PUBG. That's a little weird.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to pose a question. The example you brought up a second ago in those early games, like the first-person shooter.
Yeah,
it's like
a lot of potential to do other things.
Yeah, like it's not a very big sandbox.
And that's fair, but it is a very different gameplay experience to play the free Fortnite 50v50 or whatever they call it, like Battle Royale style game. I don't actually know the proper name for it. I only played 2 rounds. Only playing 2 rounds, it is an extremely different game. I got freaking wrecked because some guy needed to run up a mountain, and it was too steep, so he just built stairs. And while he was running up the stairs, he was building new stairs. He just like the whole way up. And I was like, I didn't think you could. What the? And you can like build fortresses. And in the 50v50 version, which PUBG doesn't have, it's 50 people versus 50 people. You still have 4-man squads, and you drop it in your little squad. You probably need to do that with a couple other 4-man squads that are on the other team. But eventually, you get in a big group.
That's so cool.
You're all building like fortress walls together and stuff.
Wow.
It's a very different gameplay experience, and they have gone after Fortnite. So that, in my opinion, takes a little bit of the validity away. But then they also do have a valid argument.
Well, the big argument here is there's no intellectual property protection in games. This is a quote. In movies and music, there's IP protection, and you can really look after your work. But in gaming, that doesn't exist yet. This is something that should be looked into. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, IP protection stuff gets abused a lot.
You mean music when Tom Petty is like, yo, your song sounds just like won't back down, and then it's the same chord progression?
Yeah.
Even though there is a finite number of chord progressions in the universe?
Yeah. And like, what was that, chord, whatever? Like, everyone is running the same thing anyways. So like, and all the songs actually sound quite different, but they are running the same back.
Well, yeah, because the chords aren't the only thing. You have to put that together with a melody. So the combinations are lost.
So like, when you see like a mobile game that's called like Player Unknown, no apostrophe S, Battle Floor, and it has like the exact same icon, and it's essentially the exact same game, when it's like mobile or something.
I think there's a lot of knockoffs on mobile.
Yeah, that's rough. That's obviously ridiculous. If there's some game in China or a game in North America that I don't personally know of, that is like, they say same premise, gameplay, and even graphics, and if by same, they mean actually the same, and it has all of those things that are the same, that's a problem. Definitely, in my opinion, that's a problem.
Do you think there's incentive for the app stores to be the ones who moderate that?
As far as I know, to a certain degree they do.
Okay.
The app stores do.
All right.
But on something like Windows, there's nothing interesting. Yeah, so there's nothing they can really do. And Windows tried to solve that, and everyone hated it with good reason because it was terrible. Windows Store is not a fun experience.
It's almost like freedom of speech. It's like, it's so good when it's free that you gotta put up with bad stuff.
Yeah, but then profiting off of it is another thing, and like especially when they try to make the name almost the same. Yeah. Because they're abusing the search terms. Because like I have seen, I don't remember where, it was Player Unknown Battle something, and I think the last word was changed, but they were trying Yeah, which like if anyone's played the two games, they absolutely know. Okay, first of all, Defense of the Ancients. Is someone who's like never played shooter games before would be able to beat the person.
Behind Google's back without their authorization, and Google pulled that one. Violations, or are they pulling YouTube because it's reciprocal, right? So,
Yeah.
so now the situation was that they pulled, when they pulled YouTube the second time from the show, they also were like, you know what, we're also
I would say is try not to just throw out like personal attacks that are baseless, unless you're like they are X because of all of these factual